What's up everyone, Pags here at MEI Studio. We're going to continue our streak of ribbon mics this week with something truly unique. I believe I have the distinction of being the first to video review this mic that comes all the way from Australia. I have with me here today a Hohm HRP1 boutique ribbon microphone. Let's get right into this. Hohm Microphones was started in 2018 by Melbourne's Nelson Walkham. Born in the late 80s, Nelson pursued music seriously from the time he was 13, playing in local bands, writing music, and recording. Having used ribbon mics in the studio, Nelson became enamored with the natural spatial sound of ribbon mics and became curious about the inner workings of the microphones. Since most ribbon mics tend to be on the expensive side, and Nelson had some DIY drive and engineering skills from working in the medical tech field, he figured he'd put those skills to the test and tried building a ribbon mic from scratch. Someone I can truly relate to. It wasn't long before Nelson had constructed his own corrugation machine and laid out plans for a unique ribbon motor and body design. 2017 saw the first Hohm mic leave the shop and report for duty. Now, this is a true boutique company and product. Everything is handmade by one person from scratch, with the exception of the transformers and magnets for the ribbon motor, which, by the way, are ridiculously powerful. I'll explain later. The only other review that I've seen on any of the Hohm mics was in Sound on Sound for the HRP1, which, by the way, goes for about 770 Australian dollars, which is, at the time of this review, a little over 500 USD. That kind of price for a boutique mic, let alone a handmade ribbon mic, is kind of crazy. The mic we're looking at is the HRP1, which is priced around 1,100 Australian dollars, or right around 700 USD. Again, at the time of this review. The dollary-do and the USD are in constant flux these days, which could really work to your advantage if you're in the US and you want to get your hands on one of these mics. Now, the last two Mic Locker videos, we've looked at a couple of ribbon mics that are extremely popular in the industry. So, what sets this mic apart from the competition? Well, besides a really cool iridescent grill material, the frequency response. While most of the Royer mics peter out around 15K or so, the Hohm mics pick up strong all the way up to 20K, and that's almost unheard of for a ribbon mic. While the frequency response of this mic looks like quite the wild ride, we notice that the bottom end is big and bold and will no doubt work extremely well as a far field ribbon mic. We spoke about near and far field ribbons in our AEA R88 video, link up top. Since ribbon mics tend to be greatly affected by proximity effect when using the mic at a distance greater than 3 or 4 feet, having an extended low end will make the mic sound really full, which I'm hoping will translate in our tests. The mic arrived about a week after I placed the order in a very well-packed box inside a nice little mic case. Immediately I noticed that the mic certainly doesn't feel cheap or what I'd call DIY. It has a very professional finish and feel to it. The weight on the mic is good. Seeing how the body material is aluminum, I was expecting the mic to be a little bit lighter and feel kind of cheap, but the weight is right for this mic considering its size. It's definitely not any kind of toy. The grill is wide and open, just like what we saw last time with the Royer R10. The mics also boast a similar claim that the back of the mic sounds different than the front. In the case of the Royer mics, the backs tend to be a little bit brighter. Nelson mentioned that the opposite is true for his mics. The front has the bite and the back is a little bit more mellow. Good to know. So I'm excited to get this mic in the studio and put it through some paces. If you noticed in the last video during the acoustic guitar example, there was a third mic up next to the Royers, and this is that mystery mic. I was able to get it up in front of the drums, just like the R10, and I'm really excited to hear it in front of the guitar cab since that's where I feel ribbons shine. Just so we're clear, this mic wasn't given to me, there's no paid promotion for this, but the video was a suggestion from a viewer, and I really do appreciate being tipped off to some of these less popular mics. You never know when you're going to find the next great thing. Let's take the mic into the studio and see what it sounds like. We're going to put the mics on our piano in front of our guitar cab on some clean overdrive and distorted guitar. We're going to test one-to-one using our Dynamount to help out. Then we're going to put it up on acoustic guitar and finally as a mono drum room mic about 6 feet in front of the kit. Let's get to it. When I got the mic, I had an option to send it back after my review. Guess who's not sending this mic back? There's a lot to unpack here. First, the back and front difference is way more pronounced than what we heard on the Royer R10. Not only that, but this mic has that bite we kind of heard more of on the R121, but maintained the thickness of the R10 on electric guitar. What really floored me though was the drum room test. Compared to what I was hearing with the Royer mics, this mic sounded like what I was hearing in the room. That kick drum is just big and fat. The cymbals don't have that weird mid-range honk both of the Royers seem to exhibit. This has got my curiosity piqued for the stereo mic that Hohm has out. Could it be an R88 killer? Unfortunately, my wallet can't handle my impulsivity right now, but it's definitely on my radar, and if Nelson wants to send one over for evaluation purposes one day, I'm here. So, I mentioned the strong magnets before, and while I was measuring the mic distance from the guitar cabinet, the magnets inside actually pulled the measuring tape away from the grill and stuck to it. Don't leave this mic near any hard drives or tape. Now, granted, this mic is advertised as a little bit brighter than the standard HRP1 and the stereo HRP2, as both of those mics have a slightly thicker ribbon, but they both still pick up all the way to 20K. I'm going to assume, though, that they don't have the air that the HRP1 has here. On piano, the mic reminded me a bit of the Sennheiser MD441, a really nice natural sound with a really clear top end. And one more thing I want to point out, this mic is quiet, like dead quiet. In fact, when I first plugged it in, I was a little worried that it got damaged in shipping since I usually hear a little bit of something coming from it, but nothing. The aluminum body acts as an RF shield, and the ribbon motor itself has a suspension system which further helps the noise situation. The output is negative 54 dBV, which is in line with the stock Royer R10. The Hot Rod and the 121 are a little hotter on the output, in the upper negative 40 dBVs. By no means did I need to max out our RPQ preamps, which, given the mic's impedance being 220 ohms, a nice preamp with good impedance spec is definitely recommended. With the bottom end bump this mic has, even if you can't get the mic loaded down, I doubt you'll be missing much.
In fact, let's test that out using our Cloudlifter Z. In the image, you could see the two different curves, the red and the blue. The red curve is the lower impedance at 150 ohms, and the blue curve is the high impedance at 15K. Even though there's a little bit of low-end loss at the lower impedance, this mic still sounds full.
Results as expected, as our impedance video has taught us. So like the grill of this mic, color me impressed. Hohm mics are probably worth a strong look if you're in the market for some ribbon mics, especially at this price point. You'd also be sporting a small business and a pretty clever, hardworking guy. I've never actually recommended or endorsed a product on this channel, but I have to give the thumbs up on this. It's something unique and definitely boutique, and could be that cool something special that no one else has to set your sound apart from the rest. Check the link in the description for Hohm microphones if you're in the market for a ribbon. I certainly wasn't disappointed in this. If you've gotten anything from today's video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It'll really help us grow the channel. If you're interested in studio mics and other things audio related, hit that notify button so you'll be notified when we put up a new video. If you have any suggestions for a video or any questions regarding this one, please use that comment section or send us a message through our website. I'd really love to hear from you. Well, that's it for this time. This is Pags, signing off.